All right, we are live. You know, my dad told me he liked that joke. One of the last times I talked to him about the podcast, the "we're live" joke, he thought it was funny. So I just want you to know that some people think it's funny. Boom, roasted.
Well, all right, you convinced me.
One of these days we'll do a YouTube live podcast. We are caught up, man. We're all caught up. It was my fault. We fell behind again.
It's not your fault.
We'll get there. One of these days. We'll do a real live podcast.
We'll just do one when I come up in a couple weeks.
Actually, yeah, good call. We should try to do two, at least two, I feel like, while you're up here.
So Avery's best friend lives in DC, as I'm sure I told you. We could just send the girls to do, girl things, and then
Yeah.
you and I can just rip bourbon and just get hammered and do them all day long.
We used to have like 12 hours of content, or just like blackout drunk.
I'm on
like,
the floor.
just laughing, like saying stuff that like no one can understand.
Occasionally vomiting,
Beautiful. Just the way the founding fathers intended.
Exactly.
Freedom. Oh my goodness. Speaking of drinking, we were talking about people being lightweights recently. I was up with some family recently I was telling you about in Michigan. And anyway, we were hanging out one night, and it was me and some family and a bunch of my cousins. And one of my cousins, who was like 20, was having a couple drinks, like, ooh, very bad, but he hadn't really drank before, maybe like one or two. My family's cool of like, if you're underage, you can have like one or two drinks at like family events, stuff like that, which I think is good. Because like when I was in high school, I didn't feel like compelled to drink and get trashed like so many of our peers. But anyway, so he had a drink and he was really worried about it though. He's talking to me and his sister. He's like, I don't want to like drink too much too fast. And he was all like psyched up about it. And it's like, bro, like you're gonna be fine, man. And like we're literally at your house right now. So like nothing bad is gonna happen. All right. Like you are safe here. Anyway, so he had like his first drink and he's like, I don't feel anything. I don't feel anything. And then he was working on his second drink and I don't feel anything. I don't feel anything. He kept saying that over and over. He's like, should I drink more? And like, it's like, bro, would you calm down? Just like, does it taste good? Like, if it tastes good and you feel okay, then like, yes, continue to sip your drink if that's what you want. I don't know why you're asking me so many questions, but anyway, he went from I don't feel anything to like a few minutes after he said that the last time, he was like he came up behind me. He said, Alex, you're a good man. It was just like totally out of the blue and so random. I was like, oh, he's feeling it all of a sudden. He's feeling it.
Yeah.
I don't feel it, man. I don't feel it. Alex, you're a good man. You're a good man, Alex. I was like, what?
Oh, he's not wrong,
He's not wrong. It was funny though. It was just like, I wish you could have been there. You would have laughed real hard. I was talking to his sister last night about it, and we had a good laugh about it.
That's good. A drunk mind speaks honest thoughts.
He was kind of just like broing out after he feels it, which when I get real drunky, I feel like that's what I do is I kind of bro out. I'm for the boys,
Always got to be for the boys.
For the boys.
Speaking of that, so I've been out of the Army for a little over a month and about a month and a half or so.
Hell yeah, 6 weeks.
Something like that. And I came to the realization that I don't have any boys here other than Jordan. Like Jordan's like family,
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just kind of I noticed that the boys aren't with me anymore, and it made me sad.
That's tough, man. Having a close community like nearby to you is big, man. It's big.
I got friends. I got friends here.
Yeah.
I met through Avery, and they're all good folks, but they're not the boys.
Not the boys. How far is Jordan? I thought he was in Hunts Vegas.
No, he is about 3 miles that way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's pretty close. He's come over a couple of times and we hang out. We need to. I think he and I are going to do something soon.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, it's nice having a friend stay close.
Yeah, dude. My closest good friend is Hannah, as you know, and it's pretty dope having her close by. And me, I'm not very social, so I do like a social thing once every 4 weeks or so, and I'm good. And that's like about what Hannah and I are averaging. So it's real good. So
Good.
yeah, her sister was out here for a while too. She's a travel nurse. So it was fun having her out here, hung out with her a few times, but I think she moved. I think she's back home in Mobile now, but
Nice.
yeah, anyway. It's good stuff, dude. It's good stuff. It's a lot to do out here in the DC area. Looking forward to you guys coming out.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see where all the criminals and gangbangers live. It's gonna be nice.
I don't know a lot about criminals and gangbangers out here since I'm not too involved with that type of stuff myself. I'm very above board with all the
I
things.
was talking about all the politicians and stuff.
Oh, nice. Good one. Good
Yeah,
one.
those ones.
Classic.
Yeah. They have families.
Oh, I hope you're not making threats over social media.
No, 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 no. I was just stating.
That escalated quickly. And if you're listening to this right now,
I think no one's listening to this right now.
oh my goodness,
Ugh. Yeah.
you're a madman.
Yeah. What are you drinking?
Dude, I am drinking some wine. This one is
Orally. Did you have to take that sip before you told me what?
it's a white.
Yeah, I can see
That was a lot of setup for not much payoff. It is a Falangina. Don't ask me what that is other than a white wine because I don't know. We probably talked about it before. I get a subscription wine box from Naked Wines. So they send, right now I'm getting 15 bottles of wine at a time. So I get that every like 2 or 3 months or something. And it's really good because they pick out wines for you and you can like rate wines that you've had before on their site. And then that helps them like do better picks. So I'll get like out of a box or 15, I'll get like 1 or 2 that I don't really care for. And then the rest of them I like. And then some of them are like super, super good. And it comes out to like $13 or $14 a bottle of wine, which is pretty good. And then you can like set the price range too. So you could have it as low as probably like $10 a bottle. And then you could have it, like $20, $30 a bottle or something. But anyway, it's good because I feel like if I go and I buy wine from the store, like I don't know. There's too many types. There'll be like 1,000 bottles of wines, like different types. If you go to like whatever, a liquor store or something.
Yeah.
And it's like, I have no idea how to pick. But anyway, so it's pretty good. But they've been sending me like all this random stuff. Like I don't know what a Falangina is, or if maybe it's not like a common, but anyway.
Never heard of her.
Me neither, dude. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty simple. It's like a pretty relaxed white, a little fruity. It's on the drier side, which I like.
I like a dry wine.
Little like almost tart, just like a tiny bit tart, which I like. It's good though. It's good. I'm liking it. What about you? You drinking something?
Nope. No, I'm just kidding. I guess it was a couple months ago. I bought this bottle. It's just called Bradshaw. I didn't know anything about it. I saw the bottle. It intrigued me. The price was good. And I thought, well, I'll just try it. And it's decent. It's not the best. But I didn't really realize that this is Terry Bradshaw's, that football guy.
Yeah.
This
Nice.
is his stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, I had no idea. And I was like looking at these dates on here. It's got like 4 dates or years. I was like, is that like the years that this was made or something like that? I was like, no, those are the years he won the Super Bowl. So that's pretty cool. Or his team won the Super Bowl. But it's not that good. It's decent. So I'm having it over some Coke. Make it more tasty, I guess. But it's good. It's got a little bit of a burn. It's 103.8 proof. So
I respect that.
I'm usually about a 90 through like a 105 guy. So
That's on the higher side.
yeah, I like a little bit of a bite to it. It's kind of fun and exciting.
I feel like most of the Like whiskey, bourbon, scotch, that type of stuff that I have is in like the 80 to 90 proof.
And yeah, most of it is until you get into your cask strength and your single barrel or your small batch stuff. It's not as diluted. So
Okay.
it's higher proof. So yeah, most things I think that I have on my bar cart are in the like the 80 to 90 proof. But yeah,
Okay. Interesting. I also prefer to drink my scotch neat just because it's simpler. You normally like a little bit of ice when you have
yeah,
that stuff,
I
right?
either like it chilled or with an ice cube or two.
Yeah. I think for some of that stuff, it's important, like, and that's how you're supposed to drink it because it's so concentrated. Like that little bit of ice and the little bit of water, like, enhances the flavor,
Right.
dilutes it a tiny bit. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, my dad always told me about whiskey. He just thinks that ice is for women when you're drinking it, and he likes the flavor. So, just want to pass that on to you. Just kidding. He did say something along those lines, but no, he used to just joke that you can't taste it if it's colder because your tongue gets numb, and that's why he likes it neat. But he also likes George Stickle, which is not like a very high quality whiskey. I enjoy it. I do. It's not a super high quality whiskey, but
That's poo poo.
it's not poo poo. I think it's solid. I think for like a lower shelf whiskey, it's like the best lower shelf whiskey. It's something that like if I was gonna have alcohol stocked, if I wasn't the alcoholic that I am, can't have stuff stocked, then I would always have a bottle of George Dickel stocked.
You know what's speaking of whiskeys, there I don't want to say the word because it's not legal. We'll just leave it at untaxed whiskey. Speaking of untaxed whiskey, I recently got some from somebody I know.
Your family member that we've talked about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Talked about it on the podcast that you have a family member that
You
does
need to
this.
take that one
His
down.
name is, no, I'm just kidding. I don't think I know his name.
You do probably.
I've met most of your family members as far
But
as
this is the biggest one.
they're all big, man. I can't
No,
narrow it down. They're all very okay. I can think of one that I think is the biggest, but
all right. Well, anyway, I did some work for him when I was home for Mardi Gras last week, and he paid me in a bottle or with a bottle of um, untaxed whiskey, which is good.
nice.
And he aged it himself in an oak barrel that he charred, and it was only aged for like 13 months or so, so it doesn't really have a ton of like the oakiness to it.
Uh-huh.
But let me tell you, this is it is the most like drinkable whiskey I think I've ever had. Uh,
Really?
I've had a lot of high proof stuff, and it's a decently high proof. I think he proofed it at like 90 or 95, so it's kind of up there.
Yeah.
But dude, when you drink it, you do not like when people say like, oh yeah, this stuff so nice it doesn't have a burn,
Yeah.
which it usually has a burn. This stuff literally zero burn.
Interesting.
It's really cool. If I still have it, which I hope I do by then, I'll bring it up so we can have some.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. It is really good.
That's
You
pretty
could, yeah, you could use it to take the paint off of a wall if you wanted to.
neat. I
Really good.
believe it, man. I believe it. And one of my army trainings that I did, one of the schoolhouse trainings, um, part of the training we were doing was identifying like laboratory setups for developing like chemical weapons, well, and illicit drugs like meth. So we had to like identify pieces of a lab and like identify like, all right, like about how much funding do they have, like what step of the process and whatever. Anyway, so one of the fun practical exercises that we did is we distilled alcohol. And I forget what we started it with, but we kept distilling it until there was like I think we estimated it was like 190 proof. So it was very, very close to 100% alcohol.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what we started with. I think we did start with a liquor. So we already started with something pretty high. But anyway, we got like droppers and we would, we can't like drink a bunch at work because everyone was a square there. but you would get like a couple drops on your tongue, and it literally like made my tongue go numb
Oh yeah,
because I
that's what
was.
this stuff does.
Yeah, it's wild, dude. Just like a couple drops. Like it was like your whole mouth is warm and then like your tongue is numb. And it's like, wow, that's crazy, man.
I
That
hope
was
you
deep
took a
though.
lot of I hope you took a lot of notes during that class because we need to do that.
It's a pretty simple process, to be
It
honest.
is, but
To do it at like a large scale distillation is kind of dangerous because of like the vapor pressure. There's like a little bit
yeah.
of an explosion hazard. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, but I figure so long as you're outside or with a big old fan going, you're probably fine.
Yeah, you probably want to do it outside. Probably want to do it like away from your residence. So, and if you're starting from like an actual mash, you have to be a little careful because there's like whatever gas byproduct that can make you go blind if you're not doing it right. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Um,
No, ethanol. Yeah.
is it ethanol?
Yeah. So the first 2 to 5% of your yield is ethanol when you're
Oh, okay.
distilling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're doing that, you're supposed to get rid of like the first like 5% or
Yeah.
whatever. We get rid of the first 10% just to be safe.
Okay.
Yeah, it's ethanol that makes you go blind.
Nice.
I don't know if it's permanent. I think it's temporary blindness, but I'm not wanting to find out.
Probably enough would have long term effects, but I wouldn't want short term or long term effects personally.
I agree. Being able to see is pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, making alcohol is very cool. I'd like to do that in the future. In
Yeah.
particular, I was looking at growing
Ooh,
muscadine grapes and then making wine for that. Looks like that's been kind of a growing thing recently. So, I like growing local stuff. So muscadine's native to the Atlantic coast and southeast. So it'd be kind of cool to grow something native like that, make wine out of it. My mom has made wine from the blackberries and like boysenberries that they harvest. Uh,
yeah,
she's done that once or twice. So that's super cool.
that's neat.
Yeah. I just think that's fun doing stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. Even if we just made like small batch stuff just for like some friends and family and didn't sell it, like that'd still be cool, right?
Yeah, that's all I would want to do with it is just make it to where it's you know local.
Get high on your own supply, man. That's what it's about. That's what they say you got to do.
Absolutely.
That's the rule.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, what have you been doing to yourself, man? How do you fill your day since you've been off not doing army stuff? Like,
Uh, I fill my day, like my average day, with a lot of cooking, cleaning, exercise, a little bit of reading online, just about stuff, um, playing with the dog, and bothering Avery.
so you're basically a housewife.
Yeah,
I love that for you, man. I'm real happy for
cool.
you.
I,
That's the dream.
I thought I would hate it, but I really don't hate it because it gives me a purpose.
Yeah.
It gives me something that I enjoy doing, which is cooking and exercising and all this stuff. I've never had like time,
Yeah.
and now that I've got this time, it's really nice. Earlier today, I went on a run and then I came back here and I just sat on the back porch for like an hour and a half, just
Yeah.
just taking it all in, just being a man. It was good. I think this is the reset I've needed.
That
After
homeless veteran life, man. It's beautiful.
I'm all scruffy and gross.
Yeah, dude, your hair's long and back, man. It's
I love
crazy.
it. Really cool.
You growing a mullet?
Yeah,
Gonna be straight bussing?
busting.
Busting. You should save it. So like I've seen the mullet where like you kind of shave it on the sides, but I think you should also shave the top. So like have it shaved all the way up until you get to like the back and then have the mullet. I think that'd be really cool, man.
I don't know.
I,
Just
I
like
think you should do
just
it.
like bald up until like right there and then mullet.
Yeah, don't tell Avery before you do it though. Let it be a surprise.
All right.
She'll really appreciate that if you do
He'll
it.
probably kick me out.
No, man, it'll be fine. She'll love it.
All right. You convinced me. But yeah, that's really my day. I don't do anything that's lame. Um, it's good. I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah.
I get to have good slow mornings and just kind of just sit around and just do what I like doing. And it's not all like unproductive. I'm getting in really good shape, and I'm just getting ready for school and all that stuff. So it's good. So I'm not just being a total bum, you know.
Just mostly.
Yeah, yeah, about 80% bum.
I think you've earned a little time to
Yeah,
bum out.
why
As
not?
as long as this doesn't become your full-time gig.
Dude, if I ended up getting 100% via disability, I might have done that.
I think you would have for a little bit, but like at some point
Might have
you
just
would
been a
hit a
bum.
point where like you were going crazy.
Oh yeah, I probably will. I probably will hit that point at some point soon, but
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun. I'm really excited for you to get out of the army.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna
I'm
be good.
excited too, man. Yeah, my my resignation paperwork has still not been processed by Human Resources Command, which is
Well, I mean,
pretty dumb.
what are they gonna do? Not let you leave? I mean, you could just leave.
I could, but that also be a felony.
Really, even after your ETS date.
I don't have an ETS date because
Oh,
none of my paperwork has been processed.
all right.
And as officers, we have like an indefinite. We don't have an ETS. It's like
Oh,
an indefinite contract essentially. So
I
it's
never.
kind of weird. I don't know exactly how it works, but for me, there's both the I have to resign my commission and I have to be released from my contractual obligation. So there's a two-part with that.
Why can't they just let you go, man?
Dude, beats me. Well, there's like a new admin system, and
Oh,
I,
I've
t-
heard.
I talked to my branch manager because I
Yeah,
guess he has some part of the process, and he's like the only person that'll respond to my calls and emails. And he said he thinks it's because the Army's been transitioning to this new system, IPSA. They probably were starting the transition while you were still in.
yeah, I remember
And
it.
he's like, yeah, they're real backed up because of this IPSA transition. Just like during COVID, they're like, oh yeah, COVID, sorry, like we're real backed up because COVID. So, but anyway, he told me 2 weeks ago that I should have my stuff back in 4 to 5 weeks. That was what he estimated
Okay.
from talking to his people. So 2 to 3 weeks, hopefully I'll have it. If not, I'll bother a bunch of people continually.
Yeah, that's what I had to do. It took me a little over a month to get my DD 214, which I was expecting maybe like a week after I would have it after I got out.
Yeah.
It was taking a month. I called our Soldier Sports Center probably 30 or 40 times, just talking to transitions, saying, please just give it to me so I can go about my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you call and bug people enough, you'll get it done.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And like I got time. I mean, I got 6 months until I wanted to start my terminal leave and 7 months until my separation date. So I got a little time.
Yeah,
I just I was told I'm supposed to have like my orders or like whatever that approval memorandum is before I request the career skills program, the CSP, the internship stuff. So
yeah.
I've been kind of holding off requesting one of those, mostly just to get like time away from work, to be honest, not because there's a bunch of internships I'm interested in, but I'm just going to go ahead and submit it because I know of people that submitted it without having like all that paperwork back. So,
I knew a guy who, and I'm not saying do this, but it was pretty cool. He got a CSP internship through a friend of his. A friend of his owns a farm or something. His internship is because he was going to have the farm owner write up that little memo or whatever and
yeah.
send it. And he did. Got it approved, but he never went to work at the farm. He just got a job at like O'Reilly's or something. He said, I don't want to work at a farm. I just want to get out of the army. I was like, all right, that's fair.
Nice.
Yeah, he just got some bullshit job just for those like 4 months or so. Um, Made a lot of money, I guess. You know?
Good for him.
Yeah.
Breaking the rules. I just want to do mine, and like I don't know if they'll approve this or not, but I have a bunch of online classes for farming stuff. A guy I follow, Curtis Stone, who wrote like a super good book that helped me a bunch with like planning out how I'm gonna run my business. He also has online classes. He's got like a 2 week course for microgreens and then like a 5 week course for like his intensive like outdoor gardening stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know how many like hours it takes to complete, but it's like if you like it's assuming you're working full time and like you're doing these classes when you're at home. So anyway, 7 weeks total. I don't know what that would translate to if that's all I was doing, but anyway, I was thinking it'd be great if I could just get 2 or 3 weeks to like hang it out the house and just do those classes and only focus on that. That'd be pretty dope. So that's probably what I'm going to request mine for. But I'll only be with the unit for a total of like 13 months, and they really want people to be here for 2 years since it's a selective assignment. It's not like they just send anybody here. So I don't know if it's going to get approved. But the guy who's replacing me is already here because he kind of got here. I don't know why he got here when he did, but anyway,
Yeah.
my replacement's already here. So there's not like anything that somebody else can't do.
Yeah.
You know,
Sure.
you feel me?
I do. How far along in SFL are you?
I think I've done almost everything. I need to touch base back with the SFL Tap office and make sure I'm going to retake one of the classes just because I took it online. And I couldn't understand what the heck the guy was saying the whole time. He kind of had a strong accent. So, and it was like the VA benefits one, which is like probably one of the most important ones. So, I'm probably going to retake that one, and they've said that they let people retake it, so I'm just going to retake it in person. But I might be done with the classes, but I gotta touch back and see what else I got. But I'm pretty sure I did all the mandatory ones.
That's exciting, man. I remember when I started my SFL, that was like 7 or 8 months out.
Yeah,
It felt good.
yeah.
Feels good.
Yeah, I've been kind of like cultivating this like thing where people don't know if I'm going to be at the office or not. Like I had two people today at work say a comment like along the lines of like, yeah, I feel like I never know if you're going to be here or not, and that made me really happy because it means that my plan is working because I want that because I don't want people to keep giving me, long-term stuff to do.
Yeah.
If it's like, hey, I want you to like write this thing or like do this con op or whatever, like a one-off thing, like, yeah, sure, like no problem. But I have like these whatever recurring tasks that I do, and it's been like super hard to go to like medical appointments and then like SFL tap classes and do this stuff. But I've been already passing off some of my responsibilities, so
That's good.
I'm making progress at that, which is good. My boss is leaving soon, and the only thing I'm worried about is that the guy replacing him is not going to let me keep like pulling back the way that I am. But I've met him, and he's not like real motivated or hardworking, so I don't think I have anything to worry about. He's like a super chill, relaxed guy in a way that's kind of funny because it kind of seems like he's too relaxed. It's like I think you should take your job a little more seriously. You know what I mean? But hey, like he's my supervisor. Like that's exactly what I'm looking for right now. I'm on my way out.
I get it. That's good, man. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. So work stuff, like it's still pretty dumb, but like it's on the right track. It's getting better. So that's good.
There's a light at the end of the tunnel.
There's a light, man. I just gotta hold out for 6 months. Can do anything for 6 months. I gotta hold my breath for 6 months if I wanted.
Oh, at least.
Yeah, maybe more.
Jinx.
Got him. Well, what else?
How have your poops been, dude?
Dude, great question. Thank you for asking. My poops have been good. But I've been pooping like twice a day pretty consistently. And I don't know why. but I've been running a lot more lately, which has also been good. So maybe it's because I'm running more, I'm pooping more, but they've been good though. Good consistency, good amounts. I'm not getting like stopped up or anything, but it's been pretty regular. One in the morning, one in the afternoon, which
Nice.
I had like a week off from work recently. And it was pretty good. I'd like wake up and like drink a couple cups of coffee or cacao, um, and then like wait to poop, and then I'd like run on the treadmill that I have, and then usually poop in the evenings too.
Hmm.
But yeah, they've been good, man. It's good. It's good. Been regular, feeling good, feeling healthy. Nothing bad as far as that goes. How about you, man? How have your poops been?
Oh, same old, same old. After the second cup of coffee every morning, it's go time.
Yeah, you've been drinking your greens powder.
Yeah, I actually just ran out a few days ago. So as of a few days ago, no, but I'll be ordering some more soon.
I just got a new little container of my greens powder in the mail.
Nice.
I'm still doing the BPN. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, the Bear Nutrition or something.
Bear Performance Nutrition, something like that.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man.
It's
Good.
good, man. Gets the job done.
Yeah,
Feels good.
I've been really good about vegetables though, so I don't feel bad about not um, drinking them right now. You know.
How dare you?
All right.
You need more.
All right.
You should be eating so much vegetables and stuff that your poop is green.
I don't know if I want that. I don't know if that's possible.
It is possible. You never had green poops before?
Yeah, but I don't know if that's from eating so many vegetables.
Well, you just haven't eaten enough vegetables then.
What about vegetarians? They probably have normal brown poops. Maybe. I don't know. They're not really humans,
I
so
don't know. It depends what they eat. A lot of them eat just garbage all the time.
well, they're vegetarians, so you'll have that.
I mean, you can eat a healthy diet as a vegetarian,
Yeah,
but some of them I think just eat junk food all the time. And they're like real fat because they just eat a bunch of garbage, just a bunch of empty calories. So they're always hungry because their body isn't getting the micronutrients that it needs. So it keeps telling them they're hungry.
sure.
That's so weird. That makes me think. I was reading this book. I think I talked about it on one of the last podcasts about
You can read?
nutrition. I can read, not well,
Whoa,
real slow.
good for you, man.
But I have no idea what happened to that book. I read like half of it, and that was like 3 or 4 weeks ago. I don't know what happened to it.
There's
I
a sign.
talked about it, I think, on the podcast of Morgan. That's so weird. Where is it?
It's gone. It's a sign. You weren't supposed to be reading it, I guess.
That's weird, dude. I don't. That really bothers me. I'm gonna go look through my stuff after this for that book.
All right. Did you leave it at work?
No, I don't think I ever brought it to work. It might be in my car though.
All right.
Anyway,
Hmm.
what else you been doing, dude?
What else have I been doing? Well, I went home for Mardi Gras last week. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you did.
I went to a Mardi Gras ball. That was a cool time for the most part. Um,
For the most part.
yeah.
What wasn't cool about it?
I just got a super bad headache afterward, or like at like I think it was like 12:30 or something. I
Yeah.
just got a super bad headache, and I wasn't feeling great. But what was really cool, I don't know if you saw, but Bailey Stein was engaged. She just got engaged, and it was at the ball.
To
Yeah,
who?
her fiance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
bitch.
yeah. Actually, it's his name's Albert. He's another army weirdo. Actually, same job as you, believe it or not.
Same job as me.
But but he's an enlisted guy, and he's got
Oh,
a cool.
okay.
Yeah, he's got a
That's
cool.
not that's not as bad then.
Yeah, he's a good guy. They're a good couple, and that was cool to see.
Interesting. Is he active duty or is he reserve?
Yeah, so he's active duty. She lives up in Colorado as a travel nurse, and he is in 10th group up in Colorado.
Hmm.
He's one of the attachments, the big army attachments, to some
Yeah.
to some ODA up there or whatever. And yeah, he's actually about to go to Korea for a little less than a year, I think.
Okay.
I don't know how an enlisted guy got a got a stint in in Korea for a year.
There's like
Um,
a, it's probably a 9 month rotation, unless is he
no,
PCSing?
it's a PCS.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. That happens for chem guys, like 50% of the chemical corps is like stationed in Korea or at a base that's like directly supporting Korea.
yeah. But yeah, he's going there, then coming back to finish out the last little bit, and he's hanging it up too. But he's a real good guy, so that was cool. Um, that's really all I've been doing recently. Oh, my puppy Theo
Yeah.
got his nuts chopped off today.
Well, poor guy.
Yeah, I feel for him. We're the same now.
You can empathize, huh?
Yeah, it needed to happen. He was thinking he was the top dog in the house, and I can't have that.
Oh yeah, real aggressive.
No, he was just thinking, oh, I got both my nuts. I'm a big man, that kind of guy.
Yeah, those guys are the worst.
They're the worst. Fuck those guys. But yeah, so that was cool. It's really it, man. I haven't been doing a lot. I've just been kind of living the unemployed homeless veteran life.
Yeah, just doing housewife stuff. That's good. Got to maintain the domicile.
Oh yeah.
That's good, dude. That's good. What have I been doing?
I don't know.
I'm trying to do more stuff in DC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still planning on moving to Pensacola after the army, but recently I've like had some anxiety about moving. I've been kind of second guessing myself, but I think I'm over that now. So, I
That's
mean, I
fair.
still got time to change my mind, but I'm just trying to do more stuff in DC because I want to take advantage while I'm living here because it's a cool place to be, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Sure.
Korea was cool. I got a lot of anxiety when I was leaving Korea. Part of that though was because the transition was super rushed because I put off a bunch of stuff because I was trying to do my job for too long and I spent way too much time trying to help my replacement. And like everyone except for her was like, you need to stop what you're doing and you need to like do all the stuff to like get ready to leave. I didn't listen to them, so I learned the hard way. But anyway, but like what reassured me the most is I did have a bunch of good memories from Korea and like I did a ton of fun stuff while I was over there and like I traveled and spent a bunch of time in Seoul. So anyway, I'm trying to do a bunch of stuff here, take advantage of it to make sure I don't regret not doing that, you know?
Yeah, I hear you.
You feel me? It's a cool place in the country to be. DC in this area. It's
I
pretty
feel
neat.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, this past weekend I went to the Museum of Natural History, which was
Oh,
fun.
that's a cool one. I really like that place.
Dude, I think I could spend like 20 hours at the museum. I think I'd have to spend about 20 hours before I was satisfied. Because I went with Hannah like a month or so ago. We didn't spend too long there. We probably spent like an hour and a half. And I spent like 2.5 hours this past weekend and like literally got through like half of the marine exhibit, the early human history exhibit, and just like a very tiny bit of like the mammals exhibit. But also there was like a buttload of people, so it was kind of hard to like look at everything I wanted to because I was like elbowing people and I did not enjoy that. So anyway, I spent like 2.5 hours there. Then I got some raw oysters at a restaurant on the Potomac, which is pretty cool. Rappahannock Oyster Bar. It's pretty good. Yeah, man, I like some raw oysters. I always think about I have like this like vivid memory of hanging out with you and your dad and him eating raw oysters. And he was like, oh yeah, I love raw oysters. But he like smothered them in ketchup, which is funny because like, well, you can't even taste them if they got that much ketchup. But I don't know. To each their own.
Oh, where was that? It wasn't ketchup. It was cocktail sauce. Where was that?
Well, I thought it was ketchup.
No, it had some horseradish. Where were we? Why
I
do
don't
I?
know. I just have a very vivid memory. And I just remember thinking it's funny that he says he likes them so much when he smothers them with whatever sauce,
Yeah,
but he was real into them. That's good.
I don't know. I don't remember the last time I had a raw oyster. I was probably like 8 or 9 first time I tried one. I was like, nah.
Oh, first time you tried them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
dude, probably not very
that was the
tasty
last
to
time I
an
had one
8 or 9 year old. Probably an acquired taste, but they harvest a bunch of them out here.
Yeah, you
So like
had
that
some.
restaurant, the Rappahannock, is named after the Rappahannock River in Maryland. So They had oysters from I think 3 different places. They harvested them from the Rappahannock River, I think from the Chesapeake Bay, and then like one other place, and they like describe the brines for each of them.
Hmm,
I don't know enough about oysters to be like, oh yes, I can tell this one has more of a sweet brine compared to the others. I don't know
sure.
enough for that. Some people do, apparently.
You should take me to a cool restaurant.
Dude, like all the restaurants are good out here.
I
All
like food.
it's but like Birmingham has a lot of good places too. So you
Oh
probably
yeah,
understand a little bit. But like Mobile, like there's nowhere good to eat in Mobile. And people are like, oh, this place is so good, it's the best. And it's like it's not very good. Like if I go to a restaurant and like I'm thinking that I have no doubt that I could make a better meal, the same meal but better than what I have at the restaurant, it's not good.
it's not that good.
It's not good. I'm not a professional chef.
I agree.
But yeah, dude, there's like a ton of good places out here. I try to eat out like once a week now, try new spots.
That's fun.
Yeah. Try and make myself do stuff like I said. So yeah, there's a lot, man. There's a lot of good spots.
Nice.
If you guys want raw oysters, there's a bunch. There's like this little area called the Wharf, which is on a wharf, obviously on the Potomac, and that's got like 3 oyster bars right there. So I think the Rappahannock oyster bar is kind of like a more well-known one. So I might
Yeah,
take you guys to that one night. We'll see.
that'd be really cool. I don't know if I like raw oysters, but I would like to try it.
Yeah, we'll
Oh,
get like a platter.
yeah.
We'll get like a bunch of them for the table, and then like if you don't like them, they have burgers and stuff there too.
Okay,
So
that'd be good.
yeah, we'll try it out, man. Try it out. Try some raw oysters.
For show, for show. I'm excited, man. That's gonna be a good time.
It'll be fun, man. What else do you want to do?
Not go to prison.
I was kind of hoping that was an assumed, so I don't love that you had to specify that,
Well, I mean, you never know. We might get a little wild. Who knows?
but any museums in particular you want to go see? Natural
Uh,
Museum of Natural History is always a hit. Obviously, the Spy Museum. I
I've
haven't
been
been
to,
there in a long time.
been to both of those years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd be kind of cool to see the monuments again,
Yeah, sure.
at
Sure.
least the cool ones, you know.
Hmm.
Um, no, I don't know. I don't have any. I don't have any. I don't have any picks. Avery might.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, just like walking through the National Mall area is really good. Actually, one time with Hannah and her sister, we got the bike rentals. It's
Uh,
like it's like $1 plus like 5 cents a minute or something. So it's like a few dollars, which is pretty sweet. But we just like rode bikes. I think we rode like 6 miles or so total, but we like rode around like the monuments and through like the National Mall area, and that was really nice.
I'd like to do that.
We could walk too. We could walk and do like a 4 mile loop or something, which like really isn't that much. Stop halfway and like get coffee or like lunch or something.
Funny you bring that up. So Birmingham. Uh, I don't know the last. When was the last time you were in Birmingham, like as an adult, where you could like partake in like beer and stuff?
Like right before I moved out here, so like seven,
Pretty
8 months ago.
pretty recently. That's right. I remember that. So anyway, Birmingham has come up with this trail. It's like a brewery trail
Yeah,
where you can do exactly that. You can either walk it or you can bike it,
nice.
and it goes to 12 different breweries, like along like I think it takes an hour and a half to walk it.
Yeah,
So maybe, probably I don't know, like 10 miles maybe, if I had to guess. And Avery and I are going to do that this weekend. We're going to rent some bikes and then bike around and
nice.
get beer. So if you ever come visit, we're going to do that.
That's cool, man.
I feel like you and I would have a lot of fun doing that, just getting kind of drunk and riding bikes.
Probably should be careful being drunk and riding bikes. I think that's still driving under the influence. So I
Yeah,
I did do that once in DC where I had probably more bikes than I should have,
more bikes than you should have.
more drinks than I should have.
All
I'm
right,
a little wine drunk right now,
you'll have
as
that.
it were. It's one of those rental bikes too. What a night.
Those are a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Nice.
It's a good time. Yeah, dude, I'm down though. I'm down. That sounds fun. Birmingham's cool, man. There's a good amount of
It's
stuff to do.
like I still am surprised like regularly about how many things there are to do here.
Yeah. I wish there was a city on like the Gulf Coast between like the Panhandle to like before you get to New Orleans, there was like similar to Birmingham, like similar size, so like small but like decent sized city and not like so trashy like Mobile is, you know.
Yeah.
Mobile is
Well,
very, very trashy and like there's not nearly as much fun stuff to do.
I know there's been a lot of money going in Pensacola recently, so I feel like maybe
Part of the
that.
reason why I'm moving there, it's only got like 50 or like 55,000 people, but
Mhm.
living close to the water and the beach will probably be enough for me.
Yeah, nice.
I'll make do. I'll just go fishing all the time, become a beach hermit,
There you go.
reject all materialism except for fishing gear.
That's how you become ungovernable. That's how you do it right there.
One way to do it, just squat. There's a bunch of like beach parks in like the Pensacola area. And if you start to go east along the panhandle, there's more. Just like
Hmm.
squat on one of the parks, make a little establishment, start a cult, maybe.
Hey,
Yeah. They say you make a lot more money as a cult leader, but you have a lot more fun as a cult member. So I'll have to think about that.
that's fair.
Yeah, I learned that from Creed Bratton, if you know who that is.
I don't. Sounds familiar, but I don't know that I know anything about that person.
If you saw a picture of him, you probably know him.
All
That's
right.
fine though. What else? What else? I read a book over the weekend. In like two sittings. I read this book, which is pretty good. I reread The Alchemist. Have you read it?
I've not
Paulo
read it. I've heard of it.
Coelho? It's an excellent book. It's a good story, and it's great for like if you're going through like big life transitions, which is kind of why I read it because I was having a lot of anxiety about moving,
Yeah.
thinking a lot about that, and yeah, I read that over the weekend. It was real good. Strongly recommend it, dude. I know you're not like an avid reader of like novels, but
Read.
I'd recommend it. It's good. Makes you think about like what you're doing in life and makes you think about like what's important. Uh yeah, it was good.
Nice.
It's good.
Speaking of moving, I think whenever it is you start moving, just let me know, and I'll either fly or drive up, and I'll pack your U-Haul with you.
I'm not gonna do a U-Haul, dude. I'm gonna make the army move it for me.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I forgot that was an option.
Yeah.
Well, if that falls through, you let me know, and I'll come do it.
I'm still gonna drive some stuff down because I'm gonna have to drive at least one, if not both of my vehicles. I got my Jeep, so like I can flat tow it, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll be able to. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I want to. I probably pay to have it shipped. I'll have to look at the pricing though, because flat towing it was kind of a hassle.
Well, the army will move that.
I don't know if they will. I don't know if they'll ship a POV because I'm single. I know they
They'll move
probably
one.
do for most families. I don't know if they will for a single person.
No, they'll move. They'll move one per household.
You sure?
Yep.
I don't know. I don't believe you. I'll see it when it's in my
More than I have.
orders.
Come on, man.
I'll believe it when it's in my orders, when I got
Fair.
them in hand.
That's fair.
If they do, that'd be dope. I'll have them ship the Jeep, but I'll still drive the Armada and I'll drive a bunch of stuff down. Um, if they can ship the kayak, that'd be great. My dad has a sit on top kayak that's mine at his house in Birmingham. So I'm planning on driving and picking that up along the way.
Well, also, if you need help from Birmingham, I've got a pickup truck. So
Yeah. I'll also have like 40 to 45 days of like terminal leave to figure out all this stuff.
yeah,
And
that's
like
right.
realistically more than that, because it's not like I'm gonna work a regular job. I'm starting my
Yeah.
own business. So I can kind of take as much time as I want, really. But yeah, I'll let you know though. Homie.
Do it, dog. Have you
Yeah.
been house shopping at all?
Yeah, I've been looking at stuff on Zillow. There's some good options. My dad knows a realtor down there, so he sent me her number. Um, so now that I'm mostly over this moving anxiety, I'm probably going to reach out to her in the next week or two, start looking at stuff. I want to buy something before I'm out of the army, because I don't know if I'm going to get like a home loan approved when I don't have proof of income. So,
Yeah.
and just like to have more time to house shop is better, of course. So I'll probably reach out to her soon, start looking for something. But there's a lot of stuff that fits like my criteria and price range. So I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good about it. And like all my business stuff, like the startup cost is so low, like a few $1,000s, probably like $5,000 is the most I'll spend in startup. And I don't think I'm going to get anywhere close to that. And
Yeah.
like the first, so like I get out of the army in late September. So I'm not really going to grow anything in the ground until the spring. I'm just going to start with microgreens. So that'll all be indoors and, um, yeah, low startup costs. So the only thing I'm not sure how much it'll cost is soil amendments because that part of Florida, it's kind of like a lot of clay and like not a lot of topsoil.
Sure.
So I'll probably want to try to add organic matter. Also, I'll have to see it before I make more decisions, but I'm sure I'll add like compost or some type of organic matter. And I might also add some soil amendments through like whatever, through some type of soluble thing and then like spraying it on the ground, depending on
Mhm.
what I find. But the
You know,
University of Florida does soil tests for it's like 15 or $20 or something. It's super cheap. So they send you like a sample kit and you take samples of the soil and send it to them. And then they'll test it and see like what nutrients that your soil needs. So
Mhm.
they do that. And then there's also every county has what's it called, an extension office, I think is what it's called, and it's for just like all the different ag stuff, and they do soil testing too. So I don't know how much. I found the address and the phone number of the local extension office, but they don't have a website or anything, so I wasn't able to confirm that they do soil testing. But anyway, I don't think that'd be very much. I don't think it'd be like thousands of dollars. I think it'd be like a few $100s because I'm only looking at like a quarter of an acre or a half an acre of land tops. So pretty low threat.
I wonder if you could rent. I mean, for legal reasons, this may or may not be a joke. I don't really know. I wonder if you could like rent or buy a small trailer and then like drive up north to like a maybe like an area, a national forest or somewhere, and just take some topsoil. I feel like there's probably some mineral legal issues with that, but that could be
Yeah, I've thought about that a little bit. That's just like too much of a hassle. Just because like to get the amount of topsoil I need, I would
Mhm.
want to rent like I'm like blanking on the word for the type of tractor, but I'd want like some type of tractor to help me like get the soil and like load it on a trailer and move it. And that's just a lot of work. I think it'd be easier just to add in like compost, even if I just like rented equipment to like do a deep till in the soil and then add some type of soil amendments with like, like I said, they send you like salts that you dissolve in water and then you just like spray it.
Yeah,
I think that would be simpler than trying to like
probably.
move actual soil. So,
Probably.
and a lot of plants are pretty hardy.
Yep.
And some people take like that have kind of like the permaculture model. They just try to do like slow but steady incremental improvements to their soil. So that's probably what I'll aim for. I'm not trying to do anything like too crazy amount of work or like too drastic, but just kind of slowly continue to improve the soil, which is part of why I want to make sure that I buy a house because I don't want to like do all this effort and improvement if I'm just renting, you know?
No, that makes sense.
You feel me?
I do.
Homes?
You should make you should build a composting outhouse. That way, all your pee and poo goes straight to money.
Um, I am interested in doing some type of composting setup, maybe stalls, but I don't think I want to do my own excrements because I want to be able to talk with people about like how I produce the food that they're buying. And
I'd
I don't,
really
I
think
don't,
that
I
too.
don't want to tell them like, yeah, like I have an outhouse, an outhouse, and I harvest my own shit, and then like use it to fertilize what you're eating. So you're basically eating my own shit.
That's fair. That's funny.
Yeah, I don't want to have to tell people that.
You should get goats then. They'll fertilize and trim your grass and all that.
I'd like to move to having like a small farm, like 5 to 10 acres, and having livestock and like rotating them. So do like intensive farming on like one plot, and then like the next plot over have like animals, and then the next plot over like let it rest, and then like rotate it through something along those lines, which is kind of like the permaculture
Mm-hmm.
style of farming. Like Joel Salatin is someone who does stuff like that. So I would like to move towards that, but that's like more of an investment. And I don't, I want to start with something simple and cheaper that I'm more confident in because
Mm-hmm.
there's less risk when your startup is like $2,000,
Yeah, for sure.
and it'll be really like I'll be successful very quickly or I won't. So like I'll be able to make improvements real quickly or realize that like I can't do it or the market's not there. So
For sure.
yeah, but like with something like that, it's a longer cycle. So I would like to do that for sure though. Eventually, I'd love to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That'd be a lot of fun, man.
It's exciting.
Dude, I'm stoked, man. I'm stoked. I have too many ideas to be honest. I'm trying to like not get too psyched up and like spend too much time researching other stuff because I want to keep it on the simpler side at first and like then expand from there and kind of exploit success. But anyway, I've been drinking a lot of like tea lately, like herbal tea in particular, and I think it'd be really cool to grow like my own herbs and like make my own tea, my own homegrown stuff. Have my own little like tea packets and sell that. I think that'd be real cool. I think hippies like me would be into that type of thing. I know
You
I'm into it.
you might be in the right air in the right like environment to grow coffee too. That'd be pretty cool.
I could probably grow coffee. I don't think I could grow it at the scale that it'd be like profitable and a good use of time to sell it.
Yeah.
But I do think I could grow coffee plants and like have it to like make my own coffee. So
Yeah.
I have a ton of ideas. Most of them I probably won't try to do to sell, but like coffee and like cacao, and like cinnamon probably and like vanilla, all of those take like a few years or more to develop as a plant before you can start to harvest stuff.
Mhm.
But I will probably try to grow all of those just like for myself to start with. And then maybe if it like works really well, then I'll like expand in the future to trying to grow a plot dedicated to that type of stuff or something. But yeah, no, I do think coffee. I may have to start it in a greenhouse to begin with. And then like as it matures as a plant, it can probably do better in the cold.
Mhm.
I have looked into that. I think that'd be cool.
And another thing, which I'm sure you've already thought of this, is if you could get like 10 or 12 chickens,
Oh yeah. Oh
you
yeah,
could
I'd love to
sell
have chickens.
you could sell fresh organic eggs for, $6 a dozen or $7 a dozen and just make bank.
Dude, egg prices right now are hopping. They are hot, man. They are hot. I'd love to. Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna stay that way. I'd love to have chickens, but even if I didn't like have them to sell, I'd love to have just like a few to have my own eggs because like fresh eggs are
They're delicious. They're so much better than regular eggs.
it's night and day, man. It's night and day. Yeah, dude, they're real good. They're real good. So I'd love to have a few. Some like depending on where you live, though, some like neighborhood divisions, you're not allowed to have them, but you can have quail. So
You
like my
can.
dad's my dad's looking into getting quail because of like the house they're about to move into. They don't allow chickens, but they allow quail. So he's probably gonna get quail.
You can declare them as pets, though.
Can you? A little
Yeah,
workaround right there.
yeah. You just gotta name them, and then they're pets, and then say, "Yes, this is just my pet chicken."
That's funny, dude. I hadn't thought about it that way.
Sure.
That's pretty.
Where are they moving? Are they moving? Are they staying local or?
There's still going to be maybe not technically within Birmingham, and they may be outside of the city limits, but they're moving to a house on a lake that's like it's only like 15 minutes away from where they live right now.
Remember the name of the town or area, neighborhood, whatever.
I think it's still a Birmingham address,
Hmm.
but I'm not. But it's like outside of city limits. But
That
it's
might.
in it's in like the mountain areas. It's in like one of the they have like the kind of alpine lakes. Maybe
Yeah.
not. Maybe that's like alpine isn't quite right, but anyway, it's like up in elevation in the mountain. There's like a series of lakes right outside of Birmingham. It's
I
a
think I
house.
know. Yeah.
It's a house on one of those lakes.
Okay.
They already bought the property and they're doing like construction stuff on it to
Oh,
fix
that's
up
great.
the site. So it's pretty dope, man. It's pretty dope. It's a nice spot.
Nice.
My dad's excited. He's excited to have some quail, maybe. He's got a bunch of space, grow a bunch of plants. There's a lot of trees though, so I think he's gonna have to cut down a bunch of them. It's probably too shaded to have a good garden where they're
Yeah.
at.
Hmm. Hey, quail eggs are really good too. Have you ever had them?
I've had pickled quail eggs because I remember when I was younger, my dad would periodically get like a jar of like pickled quail eggs.
Hmm.
And actually, I think I remember him getting just like regular quail eggs. Um, making like scrambled eggs and omelets. So yeah, I remember liking them. So I think they're good. I don't think they live as long as chickens though. It's the only
Oh,
problem.
hmm. Well,
Yeah.
cool, man. You sound like you got it all figured out.
Dude, I got a lot. Like I said, I got plenty of ideas. I got too many ideas. I got too many people giving me ideas. And they don't do it like you do it. Like you do it in like a way that it's not assuming, but I have people like, no, like what you really need to think about is like da 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 da. And it's like I've spent hundreds of hours like thinking about it, thinking and researching about this stuff, maybe thousands of hours thinking and researching about the stuff that I want to do. And it's like, yeah. Anyway, a couple of my uncles in particular, because they all my dad and all his siblings grew up on a farm. And a lot of, well, two of my uncles are gentlemen farmers. Have you heard that term before? Do you know what that means?
I don't know what it means, but I've heard it.
It just means guys that like farm part time. So they're both
Yeah.
successful and like their other occupations, like super successful actually, but they both have farmland and they grow like whatever. They have like orchards with like apples and peaches and stuff, and that's kind of like their side gig. And they do it mostly just because they enjoy it. But
Mhm.
anyway, they try to give me advice and they're like, yeah, like let me know when you have your business plan. Like I'd be happy to review your business plan because I know you're probably gonna need a big loan to start. And it's like, I'm not gonna need a loan because it's like 2 to 3 thousand and startup costs, and I've already bought some of the stuff, and I'm probably not gonna write a full business plan because I don't think I need to.
Yeah.
Um, and they have a bunch of ideas that they want to like give me and talk to me about. And but their experience is in like more traditional agriculture, more like extensive agriculture rather than intensive like I'm doing. So a lot of like if I followed some of the advice, it would like for sure make me fail just because like the type of farming that they're used to is kind of like the opposite, because that farming is like you go big to make your profit is through expanding and making things big,
Yeah.
and mine is like you keep it as small as possible to occupy that niche and have low overhead. So anyway, they don't think it's going to work out for me, which is fine.
Fuck them. Respectfully.
Fuck them. No, they mean well. I mean, I appreciate their advice. They do have obviously they have good intentions and they want the best for me, but they just don't understand. I think the type of like farming that I don't even know if you can really call it farming. It's like intensive gardening. So
Yeah.
it's a bit different than what they're familiar with.
It seems like a relatively new style of agriculture too.
It's
Well,
it's old, but it's new. Yes. Yeah,
yeah.
it's becoming popular recently because people are willing to pay a little bit more for like local organically produced stuff, and people are more aware of like the effects of agriculture on the environment. So um
What is your business name gonna be?
dude, I've been thinking about that. I was talking with our friend Morgan Waits about this recently, and I suggested the name Tom's Little Farm, and she loved that. She was thrilled when I said that, and she said, "You have to name it Tom's Little Farm."
Like Lil, like Lil Sebastian?
Correct. Yeah,
Okay,
Lil apostrophe.
sure. Okay,
Of
I
course.
got
Yeah, yeah, like Little Sebastian. That's funny.
it.
So I was thinking Tom's Little Farm or Better Eats is the other one, because I'm thinking about selling like sauerkraut and like fermented onions and fermented nuts. I was thinking about that as well since I already do some of that. Good Eats is already taken as a business name because I did like there's like a little engine search thing for Florida for like registering your business as an LLC. So Good Eats is already taken. Better Eats is available. So that was one thing I was thinking. I haven't searched to see if Tom's Little Farm is available, but I feel
I'm
like it
sure it
probably
is.
is. That's pretty unique. So yeah, anyway, the two options are Tom's Little Farm or Better Eats. So for those listening, feel free to comment on which one you think is better. I think they're both pretty good, but like I said, Morgan was thrilled with Tom's Little Farm.
She's
So
pretty easy to thrill, but I do think
she,
that's a good.
she
I do
can be
think.
excitable at times. Yeah.
So I don't know. I know I sent you all this stuff. You've been busy. Last time I was in Nashville for Kelsey's birthday earlier this month. Yeah,
Yeah.
earlier this month. We so happened to go by a little market outdoors, and there was a literal microgreens market.
I did look at that today. I've been catching up on text messages. So I saw the little microgreens thing.
They made a bread out of beets,
Yeah.
and they were giving out free samples of it, and it was very good. Like that was some of the best bread I've ever had. And it looked red. It was really cool.
It looked really pretty. Yeah.
I think that could also be a lucrative idea. I think I took a picture of the ingredients for you as well. I don't know if I did or not, but
You did for one of them. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it was the beet one. I think it was one that had spinach. Uh,
maybe.
yeah. That did look good. I've tried like a couple times to make my own bread. It didn't work well. I made like a sourdough and I made kind of like these little pretzel things, kind of like soft pretzels. And those were good as soft pretzels, but like I was originally trying to make like little rolls. And with the dough I had made, it was just like dense as fuck. I was like, this is not a good roll. So I was like, well, let me just try like sauteing it in oil in a pan and have it more as like a pretzel. And anyway, I had that with hummus and I was like, excellent. But just like warm bread that's like freshly baked is just like
It's
always
it's
so
next
much
level.
better. So
Cool.
yeah, dude, I did see that. That was interesting. That was interesting. I'm trying to do my paleo diet, so I haven't been eating grains really, but I've seen some recipes that like don't include grains. They use like potato flour or
Oh
like
no, I meant as into sell in your business. That could
yeah,
be
but
a,
like if I'm not going to eat it, I don't think I'm going to want to make it.
that's fair. Well, this isn't for you, it's for people, you know?
But like I want to be able to like eat it and try it and like support it.
That's fair.
You know, like if I don't eat it, if I'm not a fan, then I wouldn't feel great about selling it.
That makes sense, I guess.
Also, though, baking and like baking bread is like not as easy as it seems to be. Like cooking stuff, like you kind of just like understand how flavors work together and you kind of like mix things and like add lib and it's fine. Like baking, I have not had a whole lot a whole lot of success with. Seems to be a lot more technical, a little
Yeah.
bit more skill required.
Mhm.
I'm interested though. I am interested.
Nice.
Yeah. What else, man? What else? Let me look at my notes.
Look at your notes, man.
Made some notes. Talk about stuff.
That doesn't really surprise me.
Well, I just I spent a little time thinking like what I want to talk about. Make sure I don't miss anything big.
Sure.
I think I pretty much hit everything. We haven't had one in a while, so I was able to mostly just talk about life stuff. That's not always the case. Ooh, it's some heartburn. Just got
Oh,
right there.
don't do that.
All right, I'm good. Just
All
might
right.
need to drink more wine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, or water. One of the
Water is for the weak.
until it's not. Well, cool, dude. I think so when was it? I guess it was early, yeah. Also earlier this month, Avery and I tried kickboxing and Krav Maga.
You told me about the Krav Maga.
We signed up for like a little trial thing, and I wasn't really sure if I could afford it, just because I don't have an income, and I didn't want to have any unnecessary um, costs at the end of the month or whatever.
Sure.
Um, but I really enjoy that kind of stuff. I didn't know if I would, but we went and tried it anyway, and it is a lot of fun. So I think I'm gonna start doing that
Yeah.
because why not? It's good exercise, you know.
Yeah.
Learn how to kick some butt.
Did Avery kick your butt in the classes?
Well, yeah, I kicked her butt. She kicked my, you know how it goes. It was a lot of fun. It was really cool,
Yeah, that's good, man.
super fun. I'm trying to think of more life things that have been going on. Let's see. I'm not in the army.
What?
I am a homeless veteran.
Yeah, your hair's way too long.
Not really. It's not long.
Mustache looks good though.
Yeah, I trimmed it. I don't much like it.
You don't like it? You don't like it now?
I don't like it trimmed, man.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Why'd
just
you trim it? Why'd you do that then?
it was getting. I was just kidding about that. So it got to the length where I could not eat because my mustache hairs would. Yeah, so my mustache hairs would grow out and they lay flat, but they also at the very end would curve inward
Yeah.
in my mouth.
Mm.
And I don't know if you've ever accidentally chewed on your own mustache, but it's really uncomfortable.
Yeah. You
So
just
whenever I go for like a bite of food like that, like the hairs would get in with the food, and I would bite, and it would hurt really bad, and it made eating really uncomfortable. So
yeah.
I thought, well, maybe it's time. So I kind of took a buzzer and I left the sides a little bit and just made it a little shorter, so I can eat. So that's good.
Probably just takes some getting used to.
No, I don't think so. This really
Kind of
hurt.
like you got to do the angle right and like open your mouth real wide.
I don't think no. There was literally no fixing this. It hurt so bad.
It hurt because like when you were chewing, you were like pulling on the hairs.
Yeah, I pulled some of them out accidentally with
Oh goodness.
the big chomp of like a sandwich or a hamburger. Oh man, this is not great.
A little extra protein there for you, probably.
Probably not.
It's fine, dude. It's probably good for you.
What else?
Dude, my hemp plants are surviving.
Really? Yeah. How are
Like
your plants going?
I'm always growing stuff in my basement. I've
Let's get
killed
a
a lot of
plant.
plants.
Yeah.
Mostly though, they're just growing super slow. I think because I keep it really cold in my house. Like the temperature is warmer now outside, so it's been like between 65 and 67. But like for a long time, I kept it between like 60 and 65 inside when there's real cold weather outside, just because like it feels good. I don't know, I like it.
I did too.
Um, but anyway, everything's been growing really slowly. I've had this little indoor garden for months and I haven't harvested anything. definitely part of the problem was that I was using soil from like my yard, which was like very low quality. But like I have stuff growing in like regular topsoil that I bought at like Home Depot. That's much better nutrient quality, I'm sure. I've got some garlic growing that's doing well. And anyway, I'm on like this is like my fourth try of trying to grow hemp because I'm interested in. I don't know if I can do this in Florida. You probably have to get a license, but to grow marijuana. Um, and anyway, I found like you can buy organic hemp seeds because people eat them. It's supposed to be a good snack, but like I just bought like a jar of them that were like organic and like not toasted. So I knew they weren't treated and they're probably viable seeds. They have a pretty good germination rate. But this was like my fourth attempt at trying to grow them. And right now I have six little plants that are like 2 to 3 weeks old or something. So like that's like I haven't had any of my plants last more than like a week. Like it's really easy to get the seeds to sprout, but like only 50% of the ones that sprouted I could get to turn to like where they're like growing above soil and producing leaves. And then
Yeah.
now like these six are reasonably healthy and they're all like 4 or 5 inches tall and have like a bunch of leaves, which
Sure.
is very cool, very exciting. So
You should maybe look into getting a little space heater for your basement so it's warmer.
yeah, dude, I've looked into that and like the problem is I'm just lazy and it's been warming up, so it's been warmer in my house and in my basement in particular. But you're probably right, dude. I probably do need to buy that because it's still going to be relatively cool here
A
for
month and a half or
a
so.
few more months. And I have a divider in my basement, so I started using the divider, and like the half where my plants are, it's like 10 to 15 degrees warmer than like the other half of the basement. Not as
Yeah.
much now, but when it was like 20 degrees outside, it was like 45 to 50 on the cold side and then like 60, 65 on the warm side. So like pretty
Yeah.
big difference. You're probably right though. I probably should buy a little space heater, even just like a little something. I think would help them a bunch.
My cousin Trey just built a pretty big greenhouse. He lives just north of Birmingham, still, I guess, in the Birmingham area, technically,
Yeah,
probably like 10 or 15 minutes north. And he built a really big greenhouse recently. And I thought I would very much like to have a greenhouse when I have a backyard.
yeah,
Cool. You know, you could grow stuff year round.
yeah. I
I think all he used was PVC pipe and some sort of like thicker plastic type wrap stuff, and that was it. And
yeah,
it stays like 90 or 80 degrees in there,
yeah,
regardless of.
yeah. You can just buy like this like greenhouse plastic liner. It's relatively cheap, and then some guys just like build the uh whatever the not like platform, but they build the structure themselves, either out of wood or like PVC, and then you just like tarp over, cover it with like that whatever that liner, and then you can like nail it in or staple it or whatever. And
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, I'd like to grow some like real tropical plants in a greenhouse if I move to Pensacola. Like jackfruit in particular is one of my favorite fruits, but it's native to like India, which is like super hot and like doesn't ever have frost. So the biggest thing, like to grow tropical fruits, you just have to make sure it stays above freezing within the greenhouse. And then
yeah.
maybe some of the stuff will grow slow, but like it'll be fine. It'll grow fine. So yeah, I've already looked into like a bunch of tropical fruits that I'd like to try to grow. But yeah, like the dragon fruit, which is kind of like a cactus.
Yeah.
That's one. Um, what was the one I just said? Jackfruit, but that'd be tough because that grows into like a really big tree. So I'd have to prune it a lot and then also probably try to have like a tall greenhouse. Um, yeah, I think vanilla is a tropical fruit. I don't know if that can, or not fruit, but a tropical plant. I don't know if that can survive freezing temperatures, but anyway, yeah, that'd be cool.
Avery's mom, she lives down in Spanish Fork, and she keeps a satsuma tree in the backyard,
Nice.
and that thing has survived. more, and I don't know if you can call a South Alabama winter harsh, but it survived more harsh winters than, you can shake a stick at. And
Yeah.
for a while, every time like her mom or her would come over, she'd bring just this plastic bag full of satsumas because
Nice.
they're just so hardy and produce a lot of those. I think you should do those too. I know I'm being that guy.
Dude, I love satsumas. I'd love to have a satsuma tree. And like because they can tolerate like freezing temperatures, that would be a good one. I'd love to have a few satsuma trees. Kumquats as well is another one I'd like to grow. Yeah. Yeah, dude. If we ever do like our actual bar that like we've always talked about, I'd like to have just like a bunch of like fruit available. Like bar food, they have like
Yeah.
free peanuts and stuff. I'd like to also have like fruit to like other healthy. I mean, like nuts are healthy, obviously, but sometimes they have like popcorn, which is less healthy. But that's kind of like my idea is to have like fruit that you can give people.
You're also at a bar, so I don't know if health is really the most prevalent.
Dude, I would crush some fucking kumquats and satsumas if I was drinking at a bar. I
Yeah.
would crush them.
You could also use them to make drinks and like be as garnishes and stuff. That'd be really cool too.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're even sweeter than oranges, so potentially make some good stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, dude. I'm all about it, man. I'm all about it. Bees is another thing.
I think having honeybees would be the coolest thing.
That would be legit. I don't eat a lot of refined sugar anymore, but like making like simple honey for mixed drinks would be super dope. And just
Yeah.
like keeping bees, like that's just cool as shit to me, man.
It's so easy too. You don't really have to do anything, You just
Yeah, you
build a
don't.
little house, either buy a queen or find a queen to stay in it, whatever.
Yeah.
It's
Let them
every year.
let them do their thing, man. When I was in Kuwait, you could get like honeycomb at the store. Like that was a pretty common thing. And they
Yeah.
had ice cream and froyo places where you could get like a chunk of honeycomb and like honey on top of your ice cream or froyo. Like
Yeah.
that was delicious. Like
I
I
love
have you ever bit into like honeycomb?
Oh yeah. It's
Dude,
it's such a weird,
it is
satisfying crunch.
so satisfying. Like,
Yeah.
oh my, it is just, it's incredible. Biting to a chunk of honeycomb is incredible. Oh my gosh. Yeah, dude. I would love that. What a treat, man. What a treat.
And I like you can use it for so many things. You
Yeah.
can sweeten your coffee. You can throw it on top of some peanut butter. You
Oh,
can you can just have a spoonful of it if you're not feeling well or if you're having allergy problems. You know
to help the medicine go down.
that. Oh yeah, but I mean, no, like I've always read that if you're able to get like local raw honey, that can help if you have like severe allergy problems.
Yeah.
Something about the bees. I don't really know, or the pollen. I don't really know a lot about it, but
Yeah. No, I've heard that. I've heard that too.
I think that'd be really cool. Plus, honey's really expensive, especially like the local raw stuff.
It's
It's like
crazy
$10 or
expensive.
$12 for like a little pint jar of it.
Yeah.
Less than that, or yeah, more than that probably.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really sweet.
Yeah. I think it'd be awesome.
Can you imagine you and me trying to go harvest the honey in the little bee suits?
No,
Got the little smoke gun. I got the gloves.
what I imagine is me and you walking out with like ranger panties and then like maybe a head covering with like a little thing to protect our face. And we're walking out like doing stuff like, oh shit, just getting like stung. Get real like swollen nipples from
Yeah,
bees.
that'd be fun.
When they get used to you, they don't really sting you. They like land on you and stuff. And as
Yeah,
long as you're not too aggressive, but that would be funny, dude.
be hysterical.
Me and you playing with our bees.
Big bee guys. We bees in the trap. You know what I mean?
Big bees in the trap. That's gonna get our YouTube video flagged for lyrics or something.
Nah, probably not.
It'd be funny if it did. Yeah, dude. I've seen videos of people that just like they're out doing stuff with their bees, like without any protection. And they'll have like a bunch of bees like land on them and they like scoop them off their body. And there'll be like 50 like bees in their hand, and they just like like dump them off. They don't sting them. So I think like you do the smoke thing and it helps them relax, and then they also get used to you and they get used to your scent. And but also I've heard like some beekeepers say like you get stung enough times and like your body kind of adapts and like builds some immunity. So like stings a little bit, but doesn't really bother you.
Hmm.
So yeah, dude, that'd be cool though, man. Being an apiarist, keeping bees.
That would be neat.
I'd
How
like
much do those cost? I wonder. They can't be much.
to buy them.
No, no, no. The little structures.
I mean, you could probably just build them. They're just wood. They're relatively simple.
Yeah.
Just little like segmented shelf things. I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know exactly like what it looks like, but you could probably just build them out of regular wood for pretty cheap, and then the bees do the rest with their honeycomb.
I saw this pretty cool video of a guy who was extracting the honey from like one of those shelves.
Yeah.
Got this really cool thing where it uses like gyroscopic, yeah, gyroscopic like or gyroscopic force, is that it? No, this the spinny force,
Centrifugal force.
centrifugal force, that's the word I was looking for. I was thinking
Yeah.
gyroscope, balance, I don't know. But where he would just like do this, he would just like swing this little lever around, and that was hooked up to a certain amount of pulleys to this device. It looks like just like a barrel.
Okay.
You have like one or two of those shelves in there, just spinning the shit out of it,
Yeah.
like 1,000 RPM or something like that, and it would separate the honey from it, and it would all drain down into the bottom of it. And I thought that was so cool.
That's pretty neat.
I love I love stuff like that. I
Yeah.
would love that.
Huh.
And then we can weaponize them. You know what I mean?
Weaponize the honey or weaponize the bees?
Oh, no, 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 not the honey. We weaponize the bee. We turn the honey into some sort of hallucinogen or drug so people can't get off it.
There is a specific hallucinogenic honey.
Yeah, I've watched that. I've learned
Yeah.
about that.
Where is that? Where is it that they have that?
Somewhere in far Western Asia, I think.
Is it because of the plant? The pollen from the plant, like that has hallucinogenic properties and that transfers the honey. Is that what it is?
Yes. God, where is that? That's not in the Alps, is it? No, it can't be in the Alps.
I feel like if I remember correctly, I remember people talking about it and guys like climbing out on like a tree branch that's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
hanging over a cliff,
Yeah.
like get to the hive because it's in like this weird like austere. So maybe it is the Alps, or not. It wouldn't be the Alps because that's in Europe. Like the Himalayas or something, in like a mountain environment where these bees are.
It's like Mad Honey or something like
Mad
that.
honey, yeah, that's what
Is that
it's
what it's called? Yeah.
yeah.
That'd be kind of fun. I'd like to try that. That'd be pretty neat.
I'd like to try that. I'm down.
Down to clown.
That can be our bar specialty. We import mad honey and use like turn that into simple honey to make cocktails, like simple syrup, and have hallucinogenic alcoholic drinks. It's probably illegal, but
Yeah, due to customs, I don't know if that would work.
we would never break the law, Christian and I.
No, I've never broken any sort of law.
As veterans, we're both obviously patriots and law-abiding citizens. And
Oh yeah.
personally, I have never done anything wrong ever in my entire life, and I never will.
I can confirm that. This Tom's an angel.
I am an angel, as they say.
Yeah. But I like that idea. That could be fun. We
Yeah.
could like we could like surprise people with it. Just throw a little bit in their food and just drug them. See what happens.
You boys, you boys want a trip and some mad honey? Too late. You already ate it. Buckle up for the ride.
That'd be pretty cool.
Whack, man. Mad honey.
Dude, I think the honey market can be really lucrative.
Well, the bees are dying, so there's openings.
There's openings. So if you decide you're going to do that, just let me know, and I'll go in halves with you on a few structures or some queens or something. However we're going to do that. I would like to invest in that.
I'd like to have some bees. I think the long term success, though, is partially dependent on killing a lot of bees. I read an article that talked about the whole like bee collapse thing that we're going through,
Mhm.
and what the author was arguing is that back in the day, people that like produced honey and they had like a bunch of bee colonies, they would just like drown the weaker colonies that were kind of sickly. They just like dunk them in like water barrels and kill them all off, including the queens. And then the stronger ones would survive. And so they're kind of like selectively, um, whatever, like picking the stronger colonies, right? So they were letting the more healthy colonies be successful and produce more bees. Now technology is so good. If you have a hive that where a bunch of bees like or a colony where a bunch of bees have like infections or like some type of disease, they use like a pesticide or like an antibiotic or some treatment to help those bees. So we're allowing the bees that aren't as fit genetically to continue to reproduce and survive. And that's what the author was arguing, that the reason why we have all these colonies collapsing over the United States is because we haven't been doing the selective reproduction stuff that we used to do at a large scale with the apiary industry and what would naturally happen in the wild. Because obviously in the wild, those bees would die off by themselves.
Yeah.
So through trying to keep the bees healthy, like we're making things worse. So anyway, if I had more than one colony and I had like a bunch of colonies of bees, I would periodically kill a bunch of them for that reason to kind of selectively pick the better, more fit ones. So anyway, that was kind of like a little tangent, but something interesting and important.
Well, we should do that regardless.
Just fucking kill bees, man. That's the problem. We need to kill these jokers.
Just the weekend.
That's what they used to do, though. Apparently, they would take like the boxes
Makes
with like the
sense.
colonies, and they would just like dunk them in a water tank and just drown them. Real sad.
Well, I mean, it makes sense.
It does make sense, and it worked. I mean, everything this guy said was super logical.
Yeah.
It made a lot of sense. I don't remember how much like hard evidence was there, and may have been more anecdotal, but it made sense. And like I think that's one of the problems that we have in like modern agriculture. Like rust is a big problem. It's a fungal disease that a lot of plants have. Corn, rice, wheat. But it's because like we're using like essentially clones of all these plant species because we've selected for the exact traits that we want. And they have minimal diversity. So if they're susceptible to a disease, then like they all fucking get the disease. Whereas in nature, there's a lot more genetic diversity. So some of them will get the disease, but then a lot of them will be okay. And the ones that are okay will have more offspring. And then like less of them in the population will be whatever affected by that disease. So I think we need more genetic diversity in our crops, is what I'm saying. So anyway, just something I'm interested in doing. Seed diversity and like having strong crop seeds
Wrong seed.
is important. So I actually read like a financial article that I think it was Morgan Stanley put something together because I have an IRA with Morgan Stanley and I'm on this email distro. And anyway, they're talking about like investments in the future. And one of the big things was building seed diversity and having stronger crop genetics, like was one of the big areas for potential investment because like there's so many diseases and like we continue to produce like stronger pesticides and more targeted pesticides. And then the pests themselves get stronger and become genetically resistant. And it takes longer, more amounts of time and probably like more effort, but like building the genetic diversity is what's going to help us the most in the long term, like 50 to 100 years.
Yeah.
So what we've been doing has obviously been like extremely successful because now we have 8 trillion people on the planet. So the only reason why we've been able to feed that many people is because of the success of traditional agriculture. But to move forward, I think we need genetic diversity more diversity in our crops to be able to resist diseases. So anyway, that was a long tangent. Probably nobody cares about that stuff, but I think it's interesting. Norman Borlaug did a bunch of really cool stuff. If anyone listening is interested in researching people or stuff about building disease resistant crops, Norman Borlaug, look him up. Did a lot of cool things. Probably saved millions of people from starvation.
Good for him.
Yeah. Smart dude.
Nice.
Well, that feels like a good place to cut things off. Also, I really have to pee.
Oh, you're done?
I think I'm done.
All right. Well,
you got any final words of wisdom?
be the person your dog thinks you are.
Beautiful.
What? Yeah. How long have we been on?
Thank you to all of our loyal listeners, especially Nancy and Papa Tom, our number 1 and number 2 fans, respectively.
Words.
We appreciate you guys and everyone else.
They're good people, let me tell you.
You're not wrong. They're not bad people.
They're not. No. I don't think so.
All right. I'm stopping the recording.
All right.